welcome to the channel. On this video I want to talk to you about why I got rid of my 2019 Harley Davidson Street Glide. I obtained my motorcycle license in around 1984 while I was stationed at Kadena Air Base in Okinawa, Japan. During that time I lived off base, and the motorcycle was a convenient way to get around. I've been riding bikes ever since that time. Prior to getting the Street Glide in 2019, I was riding on a Hayabusa. So the Street Glide was a change, right? So as I realized I was getting older, I learned to appreciate and enjoy the cruising versus the ripping and running. So in May of 2025, I decided to make a bucket list trip down to Key West. The trip was great weather, started off great, and I was able to make it down to the most southernmost point of the continental United States down in Key West. I was able to ride over the 7 Mile bridge, which was exciting. Great ride. Again, that could be actually a second bucket list trip for those that are interested in doing that, but that was an excellent ride. So we had great weather down in Florida during the trip. Traffic was light. I kind of got up early in the morning to make that final run down to Key West to avoid the traffic. I saw that the lines were always long at that most southernmost point, right, for picture taking. So I wanted to get there early enough in the morning where I could get a good picture without the long lines, and it actually worked out great for me. When I got there, I was almost the only one there. There was only a couple people there taking photos, so there were not any real long lines or anything like that for me to deal with. Again, the weather was great down there. The riding was great, and I felt real good health-wise on the trip down. So again, I was grateful for the good weather because, as you know, in Florida, it can get rainy at times, and then storming 1 minute and bright the next. So we had great sunsets down in Florida. On the way back, though, not so much. Right, ran into some pretty bad storms and some bad rain. But again, the weather was cool. So I like kind of riding in the rain. You get that, especially in the summertime, to get that cool breeze hitting you. But again, you got to be a little bit more careful. Not so much with your riding skills. Always, of course, you want to be careful with your riding skills, but you got to watch out and be extremely defensive when you hit these storms, because there unfortunately people still just don't look out for folks on motorcycles, right? So it was being extra cautious. Now during this time, I did start to kind of feel my age. I felt like I was not as sharp as I usually am, and usually was, right, in years past on the motorcycle. And then I had a little unfortunate mishap. I had to stop at one of these red lights here in this weather, and as I put my left foot down, right, to steady the bike, my knee gave out, right, and I kind of felt my kneecap twitch a bit, which was extremely painful. Luckily, I was able to hold that bike up, right, so I did not drop the bike. But again, that was a scary moment down there with that weather. So on the trip back, I knew that eventually I'm going to get to the point where I had to make a change, and I'm not didn't plan on stop riding, because I've been riding so long, and it's just one of those things where you can kind of find your peace when you get on that bike, as you guys who ride understand. You can get on that bike and ride for hours, and it's very calming, at least for me. You have an opportunity to reflect and think about things, without the day-to-day hassles that you have to deal with. So it is therapy, actually. It is some good therapy. So again, I wanted to pull over and gear up. I always carry my rain gear with me. As you can see, those storm clouds there. The weather was it was sucky. on and off coming back from Key West on the trip to Georgia. But again, a very enjoyable trip. Luckily I had my riding boots on, so I did have that grip when I had to put my feet down, because again I was cautious now, and I usually tend to lean the bike a tad to that left side at the stop sign, right? You know, you learn to put your left foot down, cover your back brake with your right foot. I had to adjust that a little bit right now because I had to kind of now use my right foot when I put the bike down. So I'm not a very tall individual, right? So I have to kind of lean that bike a little bit at a stop sign to get my foot down, which is fine. I've been doing that for years, so no problems there. But so now I'm putting my right foot down instead of my left. So I had to be a little bit extra more cautious coming back. Normally covering that right brake again because of the rain and all of that. So again, I just had to be watch out a little bit more, be a little more cautious, take it a little slower. But again, didn't have any problems. I didn't drop the bike, and it started to clear up some on my way home. So that was good. But I knew I had to make that change, right? So what were the options? Options are stop riding altogether, right? Which I'm not going to do. That kind of only crossed my mind for a little split second. I'm like, no way. There has to be something else. So I thought about, what am I going to do? Am I going to keep the 2019 Street Glide, sell it, trade it in, do something else? So I got on the phone with my friends up in Macon, Harley Davidson in Macon, Georgia. If you're ever on I-75 or in the area, stop by. Excellent group of people. Some world-class folks over there, from sales all the way to techs, maintenance techs. There's some folks that are really good people over there. So I chatted with them and said, hey, I got to trade it in. So they met me when I got home a couple of days later. They showed up. We loaded up the 2019 Street Glide. I had to say goodbye to her. Again, she has been excellent. I love that bike. Some great memories on that bike. Great riding on the bike. But it was time to trade it in for something that gives me a little bit more stability. So there goes Macon's, came and picked her up, so off she goes. And then I went up to Macon to put in my order for my next bike, which is going to ended up being the 2025 Tri-Glide Ultra. 2025 Harley Davidson Tri-Glide Ultra. Very excited for this next round, for this next experience, and I hope that you guys are here for the ride. If you could please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're going to put this beauty through the paces, get the upgrades that we want to get on it, and have some fun, right? Next chapter of riding, doesn't have to end, right? As things change in your life, you can always move to the trike and keep your knees in the wind. So again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you stay with us in the channel as we continue to grow. And again, huge shout out to Macon, Georgia, Harley Davidson, and the crew there.